stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me.
From the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, the SCL Late Model Stock Car Series is greased up and ready to go in the Hoosier State. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Brownsburg, Indiana, where this may not be the brickyard, but tonight it's where the foundations are laid in the careers of these incredible drivers. Last week at Hickory, Josh Kosick dominated the field with his performance in North Carolina as he led 41 laps throughout the 8 cautions and managed to keep the rest of the field in check, thanks to his masterful driving exhibition. Now tonight, as the green flag flies, our attention turns to those other drivers who are winless this season. Will a new face appear in victory lane, or will another dominating display capture our attention? I'm Dave Riegel here alongside my partner in crime, Mr. Sam Hesketh, in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth, and we'd like to thank you for making us a part of your evening, as we'll be with you every step of the way, from the green flag to the checkered flag, right here on Sim Racing Media. And Sam, listen, a great race we just saw in the in the stock series, in the street stock series, that is, as Carson Cavapo captured the checkered flag, and we see him now in the number 21, sitting atop the timing line. here for the late model series.
Oh yeah, that last race was pretty exciting because we had a last not like a last lap, but like I think it was like on lap 2 we had the two leaders at the time kind of spin out and that allowed Carson Quapple to like sneak right through from third and just take that win at the end.
Yeah, it was definitely an impressive win. Qualifying has been underway, but it looks like everybody has pretty much gotten it done so far this evening, as Kvapel going to sit atop the pile. In fact, we'll see if we can dial him up here on the radio, see if he's around, and I don't believe he is, to talk about that win that he just had in the Street Stock Series, as it does not look that way. Of course, the drivers meeting just a few seconds away, and we're going to take a look at some of our details here. 50 laps the scheduled distance tonight as the sun goes down, the lights come on here, 73 degrees, the outdoor ambient air temperature, which makes it 73 on the asphalt. So plenty of grip here at IRP in the racetrack. We're not going to see that change very much over these next 50 laps. Of course, we want to remind everybody that the caution laps do not count. So we will get 50 green flag laps in the books tonight as we wait for our drivers to get in the cockpits here.
Dave, I gotta ask, have you been to this track in person before?
I have not.
This is the one track that I have not been to in person, but it is like in my top 10 tracks I want to go to just to see a race.
Yeah, I love watching short track racing in the first place. It's for me, I mean, it's nonstop action. And, one of my friends announces in the Southeast at a lot of short tracks and dirt tracks. And I mean, the action is nonstop. We learned it earlier in the Street Stock Series. We're going to see more of that tonight here in the late model series. And I mean, these late models, especially, having been resurrected in the Cars series by Dale Earnhardt Jr. and that contingent of top series drivers, if you will, and Hall of Famers, has just absolutely captured our attention in the short track circuit.
I like watching these late model stocks just because it's you can bump and bang these cars and still be fine, no real damage, nothing crazy. And it's one of the things that makes racing exciting at short tracks with these cars. It's because it's not too much power to where you can bump into each other and spin out or anything crazy, but it's like just enough to provide not only a good show but a really aggressive one as well.
Absolutely. Just waiting for Justin Lewis to hop in the cockpit here, as he's the only driver in the top 5 not in there, as we get ready to go through our starting lineup, if you will. And I'll tell you what, these drivers that we see week in and week out put on quite a show. So as he has finally hopped in, let's take a look here. Carson Kvapel going to be on the pole position tonight with the fastest time in qualifying, joined on the front row by Justin Lewis out of Columbus, Indiana. Kyle Campbell going to be starting. Let me just see if I can. There we go. That's better. Kyle Campbell going to be starting on the inside of row number 2, joined by Chris Myers in the 24 from Chesapeake, Virginia. Chad Jones going to be starting on the inside of row number 3, joined by Barrett Flo in the 92. Barrett Flo having a pretty rough going in the Street Stock Series just a few moments ago. Row 4 going to feature Brendan Cornier in the double nickel and Derek Wegman in the 39 on the outside. Josh Flynn and Tillman Hewer make up your starting top 10, as Hewer in the 11 going to be starting in 10th position. Matt Mingo in the 12 out of Ellsworth, Maine, going to be starting on the inside of row number 6, joined by Ollie Marston out of Boston, Massachusetts. So obviously the closest driver to the iRacing.com servers, if you will. Adam Lowe going to be starting on the inside of row number 7, along with Jason Crumley. Greg Birch going to be starting in row number 8, joined by Chad Waller, being shotgun on the field, as Wesley Whitfield and Johnny Wood Jr. unable to post a qualifying time. So 16 drivers going to be taking the green flag tonight here in the late model stock series. And Sam, listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm excited. I know these drivers are excited. The fans at home are excited. Want to let everybody know to give us a shout here in the youtube.com live chat as we get ready to rock and roll and get underway with the iRacing.com pace car lights out. Of course, we've fooled ourselves too many times this season, so we know that we're going to get at least one more lap out of this before we have our call to green.
Possibly.
Yeah, this will be the time that it doesn't happen.
Yeah. It all depends on whether that pace car dives in or not. If it dives in, as it looks...
There he goes as the iRacing.com pace car dives on down pit road. Justin Lewis on the outside, Carson Kvapil on the inside. And as we move out of turn number 4, they look at the man in the stand with the green flag in his hand. Ladies and gentlemen, grab some popcorn, call a friend, and settle in, because we are green flag racing here at IRP.
Number 7, Justin Lewis here on the outside as Carson Kvapil immediately dives down to keep that first place spot. Not going to work. Number 3, Justin Lewis has been spun by a 24, Chris Myers.
And already Justin Lewis spun to the inside. We stay green, though.
That's interesting.
As a pair of Bass Pro Shops machines going to be dueling it out here as Carson Kvapil and Kyle Campbell duel it out for 1 and 2. We're going to take a quick look here and see what happened with Justin Lewis. As we see Lewis in the 7, he gets behind Kvapil and just cuts off the 24, who sends him down into the grass.
I'm looking back here at the number 39 of Derek Wegman. He's like trying to set himself up to make a move from Garrett Flo. He's definitely going to try to make an inside move at some point, because he's literally right on the bumper of him too. He's literally being patient. He's waiting to see if he's going to make a little mistake, or he could be playing the long game. He's just going to make that long run throughout the night here. So if we stay green, we'll definitely have a chance later on to make some kind of move.
Josh Flynn getting ready to work the inside here of the 12 of Matt Mingo. Mingo staying up there in that Pontiac paint scheme with the 12 on the side of that machine as he holds it together coming out of 4. Still getting a little loose. It almost seems like turn 4 is kind of calamity corner. Chris Myers just laid down the fastest lap of the race at 22.66 seconds as he is closing in on Carson Kvapil, who has ceded the lead over to Kyle Campbell.
Guys, he's made a move on Carson Kvapil. Kvapil's actually slowing down. I think he's stopping. No, something happened. Black flag, it says.
Let's see what happened here. I'm going to run this replay back on Carson Kvapil and see what may have just occurred here, because it almost looked like there it is. It almost looked like...
Pace car starting to pick up a little bit of pace as they come out of turn number 4. Pace car's getting ready to peel it.
Well, that was unnecessary. As we get ourselves right here, we see the 21. He shoots to the inside and just gets down onto the apron. Very strange.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I honestly don't know what happened. So I just watched Kyle Campbell just kind of tap the outside wall as he dives down into that turn 1. That was interesting. I'm not really sure what that was all about. But I know Chris Myers is really putting pressure on him like crazy. I think he may have just tapped Kyle there, coming out of turn 2 going into 3. These two are really battling it out here at the front.
Yeah, it's almost one of those situations where I wish we had the capability for split screen, as Chris Myers and Kyle Campbell going to be dueling it out here on lap number 9, as it looks like Myers going to look to the inside now of Campbell, and he's not able to hold it in.
I wish we had split screen, because I'm watching Derek Wegman and Barrett Flo go at it too, right behind these two. Looks like Kvapil's getting lapped by your leaders right now.
Yeah, right now it's just our cameras are not big enough or wide enough, as it looks like Carson Kvapil going to be a lap down, so he's going to have some work to do I didn't see any damage there on the front of the 21, but let's just take a look. As I don't see anything wrinkled up, he's obviously still able to keep up here with the leaders. 12 laps in the books.
Back in the back, Ollie Larson is slowly making his way up the field, and he's still battling Matt Mingo right now, trying to defend that position, but he's also chasing down Tim Moore, who's also been moving up very slowly. So they are creeping up towards the middle of the pack right now. Chad Jones kind of slid up there, slapped the outside wall. He's trying to like set himself up to make some sort of move on Derek Wegman right now. Fifth, going to fourth. Derek Wegman right on the rear of the third place car of Barrett Flo. With Chris Myers still putting on immense pressure on our leader Kyle Campbell.
Looks like Barrett Flo kind of trying to just follow the lead here of Carson Kvapil, who is down a lap technically. He would be the lucky dog should the caution come out, as nobody else really in danger right now of going down a lap, while Kyle Campbell and Chris Myers are still going at it. Now Kyle Campbell, our race leader in that Bass Pro Shops tracker machine, as he's followed by Chris Myers into 1 and 2. They've got a rearview mirror full of Barrett Flo, but he is already 1.12 seconds behind them. So it's going to be a pretty rough night for Barrett Flo trying to chase them down. Carson Kvapil choosing to cool it off for a little bit here and just try to take care of that machine as Tillman Hewer makes his way by the lapped machine. Right now, the double nickel of Brendan Cornier chasing down Chad Jones in the 75, who's doing battle with Derek Wegman. And, you know, as Wegman and Jones go at it, that opens the door and a little bit of opportunity for Cornier to get ever so close.
If our leaders keep going at it like they are right now, about like lap 25 to 30, the tires are really going to fall off. And I think everybody throughout the field, except for the ones who are like really watching the tires, are going to start sliding up this racetrack. You see Chris Myers is like driving this late model stock to its absolute max, trying to make a move on Kyle Campbell, as Kyle Campbell's equally driving just as hard, trying to defend off Chris Myers here. 19 laps into this race at IRP.
Yeah, we've got a good stretch of time here in this green flag run, as Chris Myers is less than 0.2 of a second behind the rear bumper of of Kyle Campbell. Looks like Myers trying to make the low line work, but he may be at a stage right now where it's time to just kind of hang out, let those tires cool off, and see if he can make another run at it. Wait for somebody else to make the mistake, and you know, when you wind up side by side for a restart, that's when you can make your move to try to get this back. Because right now he is matching him step for step, as Campbell actually running a little bit, just barely faster, 0.04 of a second faster than Myers. And I think if Myers was able to get into that clean air, that he'd be able to set sail.
Yeah, and right now it looks like Chris Myers is kind of like settling in his spot right now in second, but he is staying close enough to where if Campbell makes just a little mistake, he can easily sneak by cleanly and take first place away from him and run away with this field.
Barrett Flo running in third position right now, about a second even behind Chris Myers. He's leading Derek Wegman and Chad Jones, who are just behind him. As Jones, it looks like it's almost like watching a slinky. He gets stretched out, then he gets bunched up, stretched out and bunched up. And right now, you know, he's just kind of playing cat and mouse with that rear bumper of Derek Wegman.
Yeah, it really looks like throughout the field that everybody's just playing the tire conservation game, which is really what you need to do at this track with these cars, because if not, you can easily wear out these tires and your car is going to be undrivable by the last 10 laps, and that's not what any of these drivers want, because everybody's going to be fighting for a position regardless of where they are in the field once the end of the race comes up. So we are in the tire conservation stretch of this race right now.
Absolutely. And as we approach the halfway point here in this late model stock race, we are going to step aside and pay some bills for the probably one and only time here on Sim Racing Media. I'm Dave Regal, he's Sam Hasketh, and this is SRM.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Indianapolis Raceway Park. Dave Regal and Sam Hasketh here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth. You're watching the SCL Late Model Stock Car Series right here on SRM. Kyle Campbell, your current race leader, followed by Chris Myers and Barrett Flo, your top three. Sam, what a race we have seen tonight.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I want to point out that Kyle Campbell right now is about half of a second in front of Chris Myers now, as he's really pulling away from him right now. And it looks like the gap is slowly increasing. It's almost 0.6 of a second faster than Myers right now.
Yeah, the Bass Pro Shops Tracker Chevrolet starting to really come into his own. It's almost like he's just found his groove and he's going to stay there. And, you know, at a short track like this, that's kind of the rhythm that you need. You know, as Campbell has basically started to dominate the latter half of this race, you know, right now we've only had one caution on the evening so far. Of course, I don't want to give it the broadcaster's curse, but with 13 to go, that's an impressive thing to, you know, after what we saw last week with 8 cautions in this series.
I want to point out as well that Barrett Flo is literally in his own race right now. He's got it's pretty far back from Chris Myers and Campbell, and he's also far ahead of Derek Wedman and the Chad Jones, who are going at it in 5th and 4th place right now. So Barrett Flo is sitting comfortable while Derek Wedman is trying to survive against Chad Jones.
Yeah, if I'm Barrett Flo, I'm very thankful right now as all of the battles are going on around me. You know, if Kyle Campbell makes a mistake or Chris Myers makes a mistake, he gains a position. If Derek Wegman or Chad Jones makes a mistake, that could wind up bunching the field back up under caution and opening the door for an opportunity to make a run at second or the lead. So Barrett Flo, definitely the driver, sitting in the most comfortable seat right now on the racetrack. As we take a look back here, looks like Brendan Cornier getting ready to do battle with Ollie Marston. As we do want to welcome everybody in. Welcome everybody into our YouTube.com live chat. Make sure that you let us know who you're pulling for tonight. With just 9 laps to go, the 23 working the underside. Wow. The 23 of Josh Flynn working the underside now of the 58. Now the high side as they do a little Texas two-step and swap positions.
They nearly went 3 wide there going into turn 1. Which I honestly thought they were for a second there, but they ended up just swapping places and letting the 58 kind of get in front. Josh Flynn really trying to take that 8th place spot here, trying to defend himself against the 58 of Adam Lowe.
Chad Jones and Derek Wegman side by side getting the hammer and tongs out early tonight with 7 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line. Nearly making contact is Chad Jones as he passes Wegman for 4th position. You can throw a blanket over Kyle Campbell and Chris Myers as they are just comfortably up in the lead, as they have now put Jason Crumley down a lap in the 83. That puts Greg Birch, the next car to go down a lap if we stay this way. Chris Myers running in second, Barrett Flo in third. And just as we were mentioning, you know, Chad Jones getting around Derek Wegman as he has now secured 4th position away as they zip past us down the back chute.
Tillman Hewer and Ollie Marston are going at it right now. We got Ollie Marston sneaking just in front of him. And we got Tillman trying to make the over-under back on him here. Just kind of watching them right now, trying to see if anything's going to happen. Possibly bring out a late race caution, but I don't believe so. So they're staying clean, but Ollie kind of slid up right on the 11's front nose there. Could have been devastating.
Could have been, should have been, but it wasn't. As Adam Lowe right now, the next closest battle on the racetrack, as he's still trying to do battle with Josh Flynn in the 23, as they're starting to reel in Tillman Hewer with now 3 laps to go. Kyle Campbell all by his lonesome, 2.3 seconds ahead of Chris Myers, who's 2.8 seconds ahead of Barrett Flo. So we can throw a blanket over the top 3. Looks pretty comfortable up there with 3 laps to go. Kyle Campbell rolling out of turn number 3 and 4. And as he hits the exit, he can see Carson Kvapil as the popsicle sticks go in the air. We're 2 to go.
Tillman Hewer back in the back keeps slinging on the outside wall, so I was watching that to see if anything would happen. We got Carson Kvapil not really wanting to give up another lap here on our leader, Kyle Campbell. Almost like he's battling him almost. We're coming to the white flag right now. Last lap here at IRP. Got Kyle Campbell, who really needs to, like, just one of the two needs to let each other go. Campbell needs to let Carson just he needs to back off, just let him have it as he is. Just letting Kvapil go, it looks like.
No, you know what? I kind of
the
like
checkered
this
flag.
look. Kind of like this look as Kyle Campbell rolls it out of four. It's like a pair of twins as he crosses the start-finish line and captures the checkered flag. Kyle Campbell, Chris Myers, Barrett Flo, your top three. Chad Jones and Derek Wegman rounding out your top five. So what a battle we just had. We're going to get a chance to talk to the top three in just a moment as they cool down here after that final lap.
Fuck. We got Chris Myers and Kyle Campbell here. Bumper to bumper, or not bumper to bumper, but nose to nose here at the checkered flag. Start finish line. Probably congratulating each other over the radio.
As we're trying to get a hold of Myers and Campbell here in Discord, want to thank everybody for making us a part of your evening tonight. As you folks make it worthwhile to bring the entertainment tonight. As Sam and I sit here comfortably in the broadcast booth, and these drivers put on quite a show. I mean, it may be a quick race, but man, you shorten these laps up and you go for 30 laps in the street stock series, you go 50 laps here in the late model series, and it turns up the heat something crazy. As we're still waiting for Kyle to hop on in here. We're going to go 3, 2, 1 here as we're going to start with our third position driver tonight, Barrett Flo. Hey, it's Dave up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, bud, go ahead.
Hey, Barrett, listen, great run tonight for the 92. Of course, a rough end to the Street Stock Series for you. But, I mean, how did you wind up battling your way up here, into third position tonight?
Well, we got lucky there. There was, I believe, a couple cars got together, and then I believe Quapple and maybe another guy got a black flag. So that kind of, helped us there. And then it was a long green run, and that helped us. So it just kind of, worked out in our favor to get a top three.
Yeah, definitely the long green flag run can be beneficial, in a situation like tonight. And, as we move through this season, and get deeper in, we look forward to every week at this point, seeing who's going to come out the top. I mean, who do you need to thank for this run tonight?
I just got to thank the Sunday Cup League, and I felt like, Monday's race and even the street stock race, that was kind of some of my era. But everybody's been racing real clean, so appreciate to all those guys too.
All right, man. Well, listen, congratulations on the third place finish tonight, and we will see you next week.
Okay, bud. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. As we're gonna move him on back here. Of course, now I've got to get the screen switched around. And Sam, I believe you have Adam Lowe with you.
Hey, Adam, do you got me? It's Sam Fraser here up in the booth.
Hi, how's it going tonight?
Hey, so talk me through what your mindset was for the start of the race.
Well, to be honest, I had no speed here today in these late models. I was really struggling. So I figured my best bet was just to save all the tires that I could and try to come on at the end with a late race caution, which I never got. So I started charging with about 20 to go and got up to 7. So I'll take it. I don't know. I'm usually really good at this track. I'm quite confused as to what happened.
Yeah, I noticed that kind of the whole field in general was trying to save tires there after the first 10 laps. So the first 10 laps, everybody was driving the car pretty hard and then kind of settled in there after about 15. So you have anyone you want to thank for this?
Yeah, I'd
being
like to
able
thank
be
my
here?
teammates, Barrett, trying to help me find some speed here today. And of course, Josh isn't here, but he's always usually a good asset when he is here. Thank you for you guys up here in the booth for putting on a great show for us to broadcast. And hopefully I can do better in the trucks tomorrow night with you guys broadcasting that race.
Alrighty, thank you, Adam. Dave, you have anything else you want to add for him?
I do not. I just want to thank you for your time tonight, and we will see you next week at Concord.
All right, we'll see you there.
And last but not least tonight, finishing second on the podium as our race winner is not in Discord, Mr. Chris Myers, but not that Chris Myers. Hey, it's Dave up in the broadcast booth. You got me.
Yes, sir.
Well, it looks like everything is finished up here as the session goes dark. But take us through this race and try to put us in the cockpit with you as you finished second on the podium tonight.
Yeah, just kind of ran into some trouble there at the beginning, getting into Justin. I want to apologize for that. It was just a big checkup, and I was just committed to the gas at that point. And then Carson, I'm not sure what happened with him getting off, but then ended up in second there and tried everything I could do to get around Kyle. I wanted to get ahead of him. That way I could make him defend or make him, try to run different lines, use up his stuff to try to get around me. Pretty much like he just did to me, which is kind of what happened. I used my stuff up trying to get around him and just kind of didn't have anything for him at the end.
Yeah, it's always rough after you know that you've cooked yourself and you've got nothing left at the end, but you still managed to battle through this piece really hard tonight. So looking next week, at Concord, what are you thinking about strategy wise? Trying to move yourself into position to be successful.
For one, you got to qualify up front, in my opinion. The races aren't that long, so tire wear is not a huge thing. It is if you're racing, side by side, with somebody trying to push, but where he was running in front of me, just running his line, hitting his marks, making me just make mistakes and, run all over the place. If you can do that, you're fine. So I think the biggest thing is just qualifying, getting up front and being up front. That way you can make a move when you need to, and it's not through 12 cars, it's, 4 to get to the front.
Absolutely. Well, listen, before we cut you loose tonight, who do you need to thank for this run?
Yeah, it's definitely a huge shout out to WJM Motorsports. I know Bill's over there. He's working hard trying to make things work. A huge thank you to SCL and you guys for putting on the broadcast.
All right, my friend. Well, listen, congratulations once again. We'll see you next week at Concord.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Well, Sam, another one in the books for tonight.
Hang on, Dave. Because I just got a message. If you look in waiting room, we got Carson Quapple and Kyle Campbell waiting to be interviewed.
All right, well, let's get a hold of Kyle Campbell first, since he did bring home the checkered flag. Oh. Hey, Kyle, it's Dave. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, listen, congratulations on the win tonight in the late models. I mean, how do you get yourself into this position?
Yeah, I've been away at the actual snowball derby for a while. And so this is my first time back on the rig in a week and a half, but I just decided to come out and have some fun. Saw the race was up, decided to have some fun with these guys.
Yeah, man, I mean, listen, you battled your way through, you got yourself in a good position, and, obviously capturing the checkered flag is how you want to go here in the off season. But now next week you're going to Concord. Are you going to be able to make that race, and what are you thinking about strategy-wise for Concord?
Yeah, I think I'll be able to make that one. Strategy, the races are never too long, so it's just going to be a dash to the finish. You're always going to have to qualify well. Like today, I qualified third, and I was able to pick them off as they go. I had a couple penalties, but I was able to pick off a couple cars, so I'm excited for the next week.
All right, man. Well, listen, congratulations. Who do you need to thank for this run tonight?
Just like to thank my buddy Slim for putting me in the league, giving me updates on that. So thank you to him, and thanks to everyone else.
All right, man. Thank you for your time, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, a special guest here, Carson Kvapel, driver the number 21 tonight. Hey, Carson, it's Dave up in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, the 2023 Cars Late Model Stock Tour champion in with us. Obviously, you're the only one who's got any real seat time here in these cars. Take us through this. Is the translation between the sim here and the real life car that drastic, or is it pretty similar?
I mean, there's obviously differences and similarities and stuff like that. More so just the simulator that we get to race on here is just another tool you can use whenever you're going to a track in real life. More so I have, at least. just learn the track, and even driving the late models and stuff. They drive pretty similar and stuff like that. So obviously, when I'm getting ready for a race or something, I'll be on iRacing and just cutting laps. I guess it might not fully translate over, but it'll do something for getting some track time.
Yeah, that's something that we've always been fascinated with. You know, I've gotten a chance to talk with Ricky Carmichael and Trevor Bain through my career here at SRM, and they say a lot of the same things. You know, where it's not perfect, but it's certainly better than nothing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely not perfect, right? I mean, I wouldn't expect it to be perfect. It's not nearly as easy as it to replicate as you'd think. So, it's definitely a tool we all use. I'm sure all the drivers we all use it whenever we're going track to track and stuff like that. And it's always fun to jump on and go race with your buddies too.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, listen, congratulations tonight on the strong run in the Street Stock Series. Unfortunately, you kind of bit the bullet a little early in the late model series, unfortunately. But congrats once again. We appreciate you coming in with us, and maybe we'll see you next week at Concord.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm gonna try to make it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, Sam, another one in the books here as we wrap things up. And Kyle Campbell bringing home the checkered flag, joined by Chris Myers and Barrett Flo on the podium. They're followed by Chad Jones, Derek Wegman, Ollie Marston, Adam Lowe, Josh Flynn, Chad Waller, and Matt Mingo in the top 10. Brendan Cornier finishes in 11th, with Jason Crumley in 12th, Carson Kvapel bringing home 13th, and Greg Birch in the 51 coming home in 14th, with Tillman Hewer and Justin Lewis rounding out the field. What a run we had tonight in both of these races, man.
Oh yeah, it was street stocks were really fun, and then we got to see like some really strategic driving by these guys here in the late model stocks tonight. That's it's one of my favorite things of watching people drive the cars how they were meant to be driven.
Absolutely. Well, for myself here at Sim Racing Media, and of course Sam Hesketh right here in the broadcast booth, we want to thank you for making us a part of your evening. And tomorrow, as you go through your day, remember, you're special. You're the only one like you, and that's fine by me. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.